The most fun was Radio City Music Hall. In about 19, the presidential election was in 72, but I think this happened probably in 71. I think it happened early. Mayor John Lindsay, was running for president. And he was at a kind of a fundraising stage. I think it was still a fairly long ways away from the primaries. And in fact, he dropped out maybe before any primary, although I'm not absolutely sure about that. At any rate, 1 June, Gay Pride Week, we did a long series of different kinds of actions, mostly at City Hall, including invading. The aim was the mayor's office. I think they actually got as far as the press secretary's office, which was next to it, which we did because we arranged for a journalism class from Columbia, from Columbia University, to visit them and chaining themselves or trying to desks and things of that nature. So all in this 1 week, plus loud demonstrations outside, where we learned how really rough it is to deal with police horses, who are just incredible. But at any rate, culmination of this, John Lindsay was holding a fundraiser for his presidential campaign at Radio City Music Hall, in conjunction, I think, with the world premiere of a film called Hot Rock or Hot Rocks. We cased the joint, we knew what we were doing, and we went up there. First of all, we thought that since we had been busy all week at City Hall, and the probability was that there would be City Hall police there, many of us actually went in disguise. I mean, we have people theatrical people who know how to do this, right? And although I was clean shaven at the time, I had this wonderful Abraham Lincoln beard, as a matter of fact. We had scored a number of tickets to the event, and very popular at that time was, supposedly to protect you from muggers, was this little siren thing, handheld. If you pull the pin, the siren was supposed to go off and scare the mugger away. And they were promoting these, and they were around at that time. Just one of the many follies of American culture. So we had about 5 or 6 people in the orchestra area of Radio City Music Hall with these. The first person to come out on stage was Alan King, who was a popular comedian at the time and obviously a supporter of John Lindsay's presidential campaign. He told a few jokes. He introduced the mayor. The mayor walks out on stage, begins to speak, and Cora Parada, one of the members from GAA, stands up and starts shouting something to the effect of, why are you allowing the oppression of homosexuals to continue, or something like that. Of course, she's very quickly ushers and whoever else are coming to grab her. Just before they do, she pulls the pin, throws that in one direction, throws the siren under the seats in another direction, and gets hauled off. John Lindsay steps back up to the microphone. And then the second person begins. They didn't all do it at once. One by one, the 4 or 5 people did it. At one point, Alan King comes rushing out, and John is, no, I'll take care of it, Alan. Don't worry, no problem here. Meanwhile, outside, we were one of a number of groups demonstrating, because most groups demonstrating against John Lindsay would have been because he was liberal, actually. All right, and among those groups was the Jewish Defense League, which was very much a right-wing, often accused of advocating violence, even right-wing Jewish group. Well, we had a reputation by then. They had a bunch of tickets, apparently. We had the reputation of we would know what to do with them. And they gave us a bunch of tickets. And these tickets, it's absurd, because normally we were not the people who would cooperate with the Jewish Defense League, with the right-wing group. But they gave us tickets, and these tickets happened to be to the balcony area of Radio City Music Hall. So as the shouting was ending down below, the people up above with leaflets just went like this off of the balcony. And actually, John Lindsay never spoke. He had to leave the stage and was replaced by a cartoon, literally, because there were cartoons before the movie.